Hey guys, we're Chad and Ashley and this is our van. Today we are in Capitol Reef National Park. We've actually been here for a couple of days if you watched the last video. And we are on one of the few trails that are open and it's called Sunset Point. So Capitol Reef National Park has been closed due to coronavirus, as we all know, but it's officially opening tomorrow. So this video is going to be full of trails at this park and we're super excited and we can't wait to show you and explore with you. But for now, let's go watch the sunset. Well, that sunset wasn't that perfect. There was some clouds and I think Chad said he had it on the wrong setting. But we still enjoyed it. I hope you did. And we'll catch up with you tomorrow in the park. Well, it's the next day and we were supposed to go hiking. We were so excited. The park is open officially. But look at it outside. We're not going anywhere. Of course, when we were so excited and things are finally opening, our luck is just not that great. So we're going to have to postpone this till tomorrow.
Well, since we can't go into the park today, might as well at least take some time to tell you about the park and show you our campsite here. So Capitol Reef, it's in Utah, right in the middle of the state, and it is one of the big 5 national parks in Utah, and it's actually the second least visited of those parks, only coming in ahead of Canyonlands, which is over in Moab, which we'll also be going to in a little bit here. But it's a nice park. It's part of what they call the Water Pocket Fold, which I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's where tectonic plates met and kind of pushed together and created this big kind of barrier. And it's very unique, and that's why they made it a national park. And where we're staying here is right outside the park. It's out the west entrance of the park near the town of Torrey. And it's a BLM site. It's about maybe 3 miles outside the park entrance. I'll put a map up right here to show you where it is. And it is an awesome site. I mean, the landscape around here could almost be a national park on its own. It's so nice. So let's give you a look at what it looks like at this campsite. Well, the weather is looking better today and we already hopped on the bike and we made it to our first stop. We're going to do the Grand Wash Trail. We are going to do multiple hikes today and we'll be taking you with us, so let's get started. If you look at those holes in the wall, I believe there's part of this park called Water Pocket Fold, and I think at least part of where it got its name from is all those little holes, because I think those are water pockets, and they were left there because it used to be little pockets of water. Ashley, is that your fact of the day?
Look at that, teaching me something. Are you gonna tell him? I don't think I'll say it right because I don't really know all of it, but you do. how this park got its name. Would you tell them?
Oh yeah, that's right. So the park is called Capitol Reef National Park, and it comes from two reasons. One is that this park is on where two tectonic plates meet and pushed up the earth, and it made sort of a barrier. So that's where they got the reef from. I guess it was sort of like a barrier, so they thought it was similar to a reef along a shoreline. And then the Capitol comes from, let's see, I guess you can kind of see a couple from here.
I guess that one would work.
These big white domes,
Yeah,
if you look right there. And they thought that those domes looked like the Capitol building. Therefore, the name of the park was Capitol Reef. Nailed it.
Nice. So we finished our Grand Wash hike. It was a pretty easy hike. It was long, but smooth, flat, very easy. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is going to be more of a moderate hike. It's called Hickman Bridge. And that one's a 133-foot long bridge. And I'm pretty excited for that one, so let's go look.
Well, we finished up our hike at Hickman Bridge, and we came over to another part of the park, which we've actually been to and we showed very briefly in our last video. The whole area is still kind of shut down because it's just a lot of like buildings. There's a nature center, and this is where the visitor center is. There's a campground that's still closed. But the cool thing about this area, it's called the town of Fruta, by the way. It's right in the center of Capitol Reef National Park. But one cool thing about this is that I'm guessing because of all the fruit trees here, there's a ton of wildlife in this area. There's deer, which we'll show you in just a second because they're standing right behind us, and also an animal called a marmot, which I don't know exactly what it is. It looks kind of like a beaver mixed with a squirrel, almost some kind of smaller rodent about that big. But we saw signs that said marmot crossing. We were wondering what they were. We actually did see some that we'll show you. But yeah, check out the wildlife in this Fruta area of the park. So,
So,
Capitol Reef National Park is, in a way, split up into 3 sections. There's the northern section, the middle, and the southern. It's very tall and narrow. So most of the stuff that we've been seeing is in the middle section of the park. But in the northern section, there's a region called Cathedral Valley, which we also went up and looked at. And it was very cool. To get there, we drove all the way through the park to the east side, and then took a dirt road that actually starts just outside the park. And then that dirt road, you follow it all the way up, and it's like, how many miles do you think?
I don't know. It was long, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's probably 20 or 30 miles to get up to the north end of the park. And on the way there, there's actually a cool stop, though. It's all kind of rough dirt roads. But then there's this one section called Benonite Hills. Ashley, how would you describe Benonite Hills?
It was like you were on Mars. That's what I would say.
Yeah, very well said. It was very otherworldly over there because just the colors of the dirt changing and like the rolling hills, and it was also really windy when we were there, which kind of made it feel even more like you were on the surface of some foreign planet or something.
It was so windy. It was crazy windy.
Yeah. But that's just on the way there, and then you get all the way up to the Cathedral Valley. And actually, fun fact, there's a campground up in the northern end, Cathedral Valley, and the southern end, I think it's called Water Pocket Fold. Don't know the name of the campground down there, but the campground up north is called Cathedral Valley Campground, and it's actually a free campground. It only has 6 sites, but it's really, really hard to get to. That's why we're not there.
Are there hookups there?
No, there's no hookups.
Oh, okay, it's just like...
Yeah, it's just primitive campsites, but
Gotcha.
It is an established campground in the national park that you're allowed to stay in for free if you wanted. But, anyways, we got up there, and how would you describe Cathedral Valley, Ashley?
I don't know. Like Cathedral Valley.
Yes. It's
it was really cool.
I guess similar to like a Monument Valley kind of area.
Okay, yeah.
Big standing rock structures out in the middle of this valley. Very cool to look at. Definitely show you some shots of the valley there, and worth the drive. We went to the overlook and got the view of the whole valley, and then took a long, long drive back.
I think this part of the park doesn't get explored as much because it is a long dirt road, and like they always say you need 4x4, which I don't think you really need 4x4. Right?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Or as long as the weather is good, you don't need it.
But a little bit of clearance you do need, and it is a long drive on just this dirt road, and so I don't think as many people go to that part of the park, but I thought it was nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a less popular part of the park, so there's not as many things to do up there.
Yeah.
It's more just pure nature, where down here it's kind of in the middle part of the park. When I say down here, I mean in the middle. It's more established hiking trails and monuments to go see, where up there it's just nature.
Yeah.
So, definitely an experience to see up there. Well, it's another new day, and we are going to head back into the park. We're going to go just down the road past where all that wildlife was onto what is called the Scenic Drive. And it looks like it's going to be pretty nice. It's just about a 10-mile road where there's just big cliffs on both sides, apparently, and there are a couple hikes along the way that we're going to do, and we're going to bring you along to check it out. So let's head into the park again.
Woo! are on the Cassidy Arch Trail, and it's right off the Scenic Drive. It says it's 0.3 miles on the sign, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong, so we'll see how long it really is. Breath. We have been corrected. That sign you just saw said it's 1.5 miles. It was 0.3 miles to get to the trailhead. So this hike is a total of 3.6 miles. And is it in and out? I think it's an in and out.
Out and back.
Yeah, same thing. And so we're going all up now, so it's gonna be easy going back. Something we learned about this park is that all of the trails are marked as one way. So in the beginning when we first started, we were thinking that these hikes were 0.6 miles or 1 mile total, but that's just one way. So you have to double that when reading the map for this park, which I don't think we've ever been to another park like that. I think they always tell you the total round trip of it. So yeah, something you should know before you come here.
Well, that was Cassidy Arch. Very nice, worth the hike. Kind of an intense hike if you ask me.
Yeah.
A decent amount of uphill, but a lot of rough terrain, such as this. Probably doesn't look that bad on camera, actually. But anyways, headed back to the bike now, and I think there's one more spot we're gonna check out in the park today. It's gonna be Chimney Rock. It's on our way back out. It's actually one of the first things you see when you come in from the west entrance. So we're gonna go give that a look-see. All right, we have arrived at Chimney Rock Trail, and this is actually the best time of day to see the trail. That's Chimney Rock right up there behind me. So let's see if we can get some cool views of it.
I think we're going to end our day here and also end this side of the park. Tomorrow we're going to take a rest day, and then we're going to head to the other side of the park, and we'll catch up with you then.
Well, we've made it over to the other side of Capitol Reef. And I think that is about all we're gonna do in the park. Is that right, Ashley?
Yeah, I think we've done enough in that park. I think we did a lot.
Yeah, I think we hit at least most of the key locations in that park, except for the southern end of the park, the water pocket fold.
I don't feel like we missed anything. I feel like we probably explored it more than most people.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot more of the park than your average visitor, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we'll catch the rest on our next loop around anyway. And we will wrap up this video by showing you another great campsite on the other side of the park. On both sides of the park, there's awesome BLM camping. Really, really nice spots.
Yeah, the site's really nice. It has the water. I feel like that's why we also don't need to go into the park, because we could just hang out by the water all day and be happy. And the only downside about this side of the park, or this camping spot, is that there is no cell service. So it was slow on the other side, but we did have it. Over here we don't have anything, so we're probably not going to stay long, but still a great spot.
Yeah, that is the only negative about that spot. Other than that, it is beautiful. So I will put up a map for this site to show you where it is, just like the last one. I'll put the GPS coordinates on there also. And of course, I'll show you what it looks like from up above. And I think with that, we'll end this video.
I know it was a long video, so if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe. And thanks for watching. See you next time.